a Wanbo Dali one, a project that doubles the speed of work. To help you understand why I was let down twice by this projector, I need to quickly tell you the story of how I got it. Well, the distributor contacted me saying they had a new Wanbo projector, asked if I wanted to try it out, and well, who doesn't love a one-width projector? I really love their machines, I really love their features and design, the Wanbo projectors. So yeah, I said it without seeing. However, I made a mistake, specifically that I didn't check the PDF they sent with the request. I didn't check what kind of projector it was. I had already prepared myself that it would be something entirely new. High resolution, high brightness, really some new fancy project I'm getting. It arrived, I unpacked it, and the first thing I did was install DRM info on it, a program that tells you if the projector has a Widevine L certification. While I was looking at this, I noticed that the resolution of this projector is only 720p, so it's not Full HD, but HD resolution. In such cases, it doesn't really matter if there is Widevine certification, because the Widevine, so they fiddle. Sufficient quality is needed so that we can watch it in Full HD. The streaming service, it's broadcasts, but this projector is not a Full HD projector. Well, that was the first phase plan, because instead of the really serious, high brightness, very cool projector, I got a Spot. Very cool, but entry-level Wanbo project, but down after I received it, set it up, and finally read the PDF file, I checked what this machine can do. I realized it does much more than I expected, and that was the second surprise. I'll talk to you about it in this video. But before I start talking about the specifications, let's see what the projector looks like from the outside. Well, first and foremost, we get a stand with it. Visible down here, the machine can tilt backwards or forwards. So the angle of tilt can be adjusted. You don't need different ones for that. Tripod or some other solution for the table. From the front, the projector looks like a completely ordinary standard projector. We find the black shiny part on top and below that. The cooling grill, warm air exits through this grill. In the middle of the grill, we find one that is one camera responsible for the AI functions. If we turn the machine around, we can find it the intake side of the cooling grill. This is where the cold air enters. What's interesting here is that with this projector, it can be removed. This is the grid, and under the grid, we find some small cubes. A filter. The manufacturer also says that the internal projection system itself is dust-free, and yet we have an extra filter. We find a speaker grill under the filter. At the top here, we find the connectors, which includes a power connector, a USB port, an HDMI port, and a headphone jack. There is nothing on the side of the machine, and on the top, the usual single one. Just one piece. You can use it to turn the machine on and off. The exterior is quite standard, and the material quality is very good. It is very pleasant and very high quality, as usual. It is a very well-designed machine. We have no problems with the design. Alright, let's see now what this machine can do. Since this is an entry-level projector, as I mentioned, its resolution is only, therefore we can count on the brightness not being too much. However, we get 350 ANSI lumens, which is still more than what the previous entry-level projector had. It was only 200, but it's almost double the price. Luckily, since it's made of glass, like I said, it's completely sealed and dust-free, so you don't need to clean this machine. You can use it all day and still no dust will get in to the inner part. What's interesting about it is that it's not just one, but it has two 5-watt speakers here at the back. For small projectors like this, it's common to only include one speaker because why would it be in there? But the manufacturer says that this is a music projector, and that does mean something. You need that dual speaker in it. They also say that despite the projector being so small in size, the inner space behind the speaker is surprisingly large, which is necessary to ensure proper we received properly deep sounds. Let's get this machine. The power supply is, of course, external, so it doesn't take up any space inside. Importantly, it already has Wi-Fi 6, which is the latest. It's very important that it has Bluetooth 5.0, so the latency is very good. The sound will not lag behind the picture. If you listen to the machine sound through a Bluetooth device. The system inside is an Android 9. Wanbo uses this Android 9 for Android projectors. Of course, it's not an Android TV. This system is specifically designed for the projector. It works very well and is very fast. Super smooth, so I absolutely collected it. Okay, there is no problem with it. It's also very important to note that it has a high silicon central board. There is 1 gigabyte of memory and 8 gigabytes of storage in the machine. At first you might think the materials inside are not very sturdy, but actually they are. Let's consider this again. It's a projector, not a phone, and its resolution. It's only HD, which means 720p, but the hardware inside and the system running on it work flawlessly and smoothly. It runs beautifully. We have no problem with that. There should be no issue. Let's get back to why this projector is called a music projector. Well, it's a music projector because it received a cord. Through this app, if we connect it to our phone, we can use it as a Bluetooth speaker. Let's say a Dali one. Referring back to the name, I'd like to point out that since this is a music projector, I don't really understand why it's named Dali. Why not something else? A goat or some other composer, because Dali painted. But let's move past this issue, in my opinion. The main point is that there is an app for it. This is called Bluetooth Speak. The Bluetooth speaker app allows you to connect it to your phone. Then the music plays through the projector speakers. At this point, it also turns off the LED, so the projection system doesn't work. The projector, just like a Bluetooth device, speakers can be used. In other words, this is a very good solution because we get 2 functions in one machine at a very low price. I think it is a very, very good idea. Naturally, we have the option to project our phone screen through it. Of course, we won't be able to project the image of streaming apps because of the copy protection, but otherwise we can use it for all sorts of things. We can view pictures on our phone or even play games if we feel like it. I believe I've covered all the essential information about this device, so we can move on about what it was like to use the machine. As I said, I fell flat on my face twice with it, and I've already talked about one of those falls because I got a completely different machine than what I expected. The second disappointment happened because when I saw the specifications, I already wrote it off. Only a 720p entry-level projector is currently working. It's too hot. Compared to this, it has a lot of great features, and those features mostly work very well. So what am I talking about? It includes a 4-element AI service, just like the larger and more expensive projectors, and it uses this little camera right here. There it is in the front. This little camera is used for, it can check the projected image, and through this camera, we can access functions like the automatic keystone correction setting, and automatic screen alignment and obstacle avoidance. I don't think I need to explain automatic zoom. Everyone understands what that means. Auto keystone correction. It means that if we don't project directly onto the screen, the projector can automatically adjust the image to make it perfectly regular. I don't need to explain screen adjustment again. If our screen has some kind of a black border, then the projector detects this and shrinks the image to fit the screen. I think I don't need to explain obstacle avoidance again. If you project onto the wall, for example, and if there is a clock or any object on the wall, it adjusts the picture to avoid the clock so it doesn't focus on it, shifts the image slightly, and moves it in some direction. These are really good things, very professional stuff. And as I said, the same solutions are in Wanbo's more expensive projectors. How do these work? Well, it went wrong. The thing is, in bigger professional projectors, it usually works well, even if you have all 4 functions in this little device. Unfortunately, they are not perfect. This roughly means that if you turn on the projector and all functions are set to automatic mode, it will adjust the focus, the trapezoid correction, screen adjustment, and obstacle avoidance. And it won't be good. If you're projecting from the front, you don't really need to adjust anything. But if you're projecting from the side a bit, you still don't need to adjust anything. Might not be detecting the screen's position correctly, so we always have to manually adjust it afterward. That's why I recommend turning off these features whenever possible. Just for example, if you always project from the same spot. Because if you turn off the functions and set up the projector once, so turn it off, then turn it back on, same thing again. Settings are appearing that you saved. I found something interesting regarding obstacle avoidance because it usually doesn't work. In the few cases when it does work, it can work in quite an extreme way, which means that it can compress and adjust the image to even the tiniest part, a part where there's nothing, just watching. So you can see it. There are all sorts of things on the wall, and the projector found that tiny little spot where there was nothing, squashed the image there and straightened it out. Everything is perfectly set, so it worked. But I have to say, unfortunately, in 90% of the cases, it didn't happen this way. And roughly 10% is the case when somehow these features are actually usable. So there's still some software improvements to be made. They might, since when I first turned on the projector, a software update popped up immediately, so the software can be updated remotely, new versions can be released, and these features can be improved. Let's talk a bit about sound. There was something again in this machine, which is why, well, to put it mildly, I was completely embarrassed because of it. I never would have thought that such a small box, which is actually a projector, could produce such sound. And now don't expect some crazy high fidelity quality, because after all, it cannot be expected from two 5-watt speakers. But despite this, the machine sounds surprisingly good, surprisingly deep, and can produce rich tones. This Bluetooth speaker solution works very well. I like it. Of course, I recorded a small audio sample. Listen to this too. A few years ago, when there were no dreams, shining in the sky above, when there was no life at all, no soul, no feeling, nothing. Subtitles by the Amateur Community e ci töröltem el kell Tisepatigiatum subtitles provided by the Amara.org community. Subtitles by the Amara.org community the next day in Namaste. Okay, we're done with that. Let's move on to the image quality. Honestly, there's nothing really wrong with it, which might be shown by the fact that although it was completely darkened, it wasn't noticeable at the first try, that it is only 720p from this relatively far distance, roughly 3 meters away, projecting onto a 120-inch screen. That was the image, and indeed I couldn't see the difference. So it didn't appear that it wasn't full HD, but just HD. Up close, the difference is noticeable. The lines are a bit more jagged, but it's not obvious and definitely not distracting. But obviously the 350 won't burn our eyes out, nor the contrast. It's mind-blowing. It's an entry-level model. But as I mentioned in the first project, what I've tried from them before was even just 200 ANZ, and I was okay with that. So compared to that, this projector performs really well. Of course, streaming apps run on it, so we can watch Netflix broadcasts, among many others. It worked really, really well from the phone. Projection, as I said. It has 5 if your phone has Bluetooth too. Then you can easily project the image without any delays. I had a great time racing on it with a simulator hooked up. So in reality, there's no issue with the picture, no issue with the sound, and the services are good too. The others are less good. If we set aside the not fully functional parts of the AI features for a bit, what remains are the bugs. Bluetooth speaker, the projector stays, the Android system stays, and these are almost flawless, in my opinion. Obviously, you can't expect too much from it because it's not expensive, but if you want something small and portable, useful, lovable, tiny, want a cute little project, then the Wanbo Dali can easily take the milk. You could install Kodi for movie projections, and through Kodi you can even watch the Royal TV, let's say even football matches. So we're really talking about a versatile device that can be used for many things. In the end, it just has an external voice. You don't need a soundbar or external speakers, because these two 5-watt speakers handle the job easily, even if it's really quiet. The noise due to the cooling. Hello Salzburg, that's about all I can say, so I'm just left with one more thing. We'll meet about the price. The online sales for this projector have just started. Previously it was only available in offline stores, and the online sales are exclusively through the stores. It happens through Banggood. The price of this projector on Banggood with a coupon is now around 36 to 37,000 forints. In local stores, they ask for 54,000 forints for the same projector, so we're talking about a significant difference. Delivery for orders will be made from our warehouse. No explanation needed. Expect additional value-added tax payment. Don't expect to deal with customs clearance. It will arrive quickly, and you have to pay the price shown in the store. Yes, and shipping cost. So, in my opinion, at the entry level, this is an unmissable offer. If you're looking for a machine with such capabilities, you won't find a better one for this price. We wish you a good life. According to you, you won't get it. Of course, under the video on YouTube, there will be a link where you can get it, and there will be a coupon code to get the price of 36,000 forints. If you have any questions, post them in the comments, and I also look forward to your opinions. The Wanbo Talk is here. That's it for today's broadcast. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. If there's still a bell, I'm not even sure. Then come back later because I'll have another test for you. Until then, be good and hi everyone.